Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dena Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk, and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your puerta de clima?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Here we are at the Waffle House, Dena's favorite place to eat in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Teresa from Iowa.
I'm Kim from Arkansas.
Brenda from Michigan. Junior from Illinois.
Jan from Minnesota.
Mark from Indiana.
Robin from Indiana.
On our way to downtown. Uppy, uppy, uppy.
Good morning! Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Kind of hard to call it an ugly Monday because it's so pretty. And you are getting a rare glimpse of Booby as co-host. This never happens. And I don't even know she's going to look in this direction. But it's so beautiful outside that we decided to move the show outside this morning. I know, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous out today. I know. After all last week's rain, I was like, girl, we got to go outside. Oh, someone's going to pee on the new hydrangea that was installed. Get away from there, please. She's like, that's not for me to pee on? No, it's not. The TikTok is on, Alejandra. I just put it on. Good morning. Basically kicked me out of my own bed. That sounds right. So we are on location with Booby. Same here in Saskatoon. It's a beautiful day. First day of school. Oh, Stephanie. We're in Studio G for Garden. Thank you for saying it. Dominic just did this the other day when he was here. He also did some stuff over by the shed too. Oh, you guys can't see it because you have I was going to say you have a booby shot. That doesn't sound right. So, What kind of hydrangeas did you plant? I don't know, Judy. The kind that look like hydrangeas. You mean like what color? Or are you asking me for the variety? In which case, I have no idea. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but it's a beautiful day. I've been up since 5:30. Here's what I was going to do. I was like, Dena, you have to admit it. You have a hard time focusing on the book during the day. And I was just talking to my girlfriend, Julie Cantrell. You know, we love Julie, our New York Times best-selling girlfriend. She's like, when I wrote my first book, I wrote it between 4 and 6 a.m. every day. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. But instead of 4 and 6, it'll be 5:30. And by 5:30, I mean, let me do an hour of yoga first. And then, let me take a shower. And then let me take a nap because I'm tired. And then let me eat cheese curls. And now it's time to go to work. So how much writing did I do? Booby, you want to tell him? 0. The plan is not coming together the way I hoped. Does anybody ever feel that way? You're like, I'm going to do it. Tomorrow's going to be my thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, but my bed just looks so fun. So. Someone walked in on me in a public bathroom yesterday. They met Commando Tammy Buell. Probably not by choice. She did figure out how to change her name. And now you'll never forget her. Every plan, all the time. Was this the first day? It was, Victoria. It was the first day. She goes, well, you got up and that counts for something. Okay, good. I'll take it. I'm sure that the cheese curls aren't part of it. But I also, I was reading my journal. Hold on. And she says, it's a good idea to handwrite 3 pages just to clear. Okay. Thank you, Miami. Gilbert, I appreciate you. Go for Rob for not sure how that's going to work out. You can, Wendy. If you get up at 5, are we in the same time zone? I'm not okay. Alexis said it's her first day back to work. Sarah, I do have a deadline. It's September 1st. It's not going well. So, and I think I'm about to, sorry fellas, I'm about to get my period and I hate everybody, but I love them so much I want to cry and everything hurts. And the bones in the middle of my foot hurt randomly. Can I just let it out? Because it's Monday. And I was like, maybe if I sit in Studio G garden, that I'll feel better. I don't. Yeah. Oh, Dawn, I did it. I did my workout this morning. I have a Facebook accountability group, which helps me so much. Okay, let's do that. Curly Top said, how much ebook do you have left? Well, funny, you should ask. Because another way you can procrastinate is by, instead of taking the time that you took to write, is to graph out how much of your book you have left. I actually found it pretty helpful because I was getting really stuck. So I graphed it out. You're like, Dena, how do you graph out a book? It's hard because it's not a thing. But I basically like put it in like, these stories go together, these stories. So I don't know that the book will be chronological, but that's how I'm writing it, right? Because that's how I remember it. So I do that. And then all the little squares that Renee's like, I love you guys. I'm not getting up at 5:30. You are, Renee. And then you take all the squares. You go, all right, fill in anything that you already finished. So I grade out all the stories that I've already written. And then everything that's white still needs to be written. And then the stories that are in yellow, you're like, Dena, how big is this girl? How big is the graph? Big. Things that are in yellow are really funny. Like, okay, Dena, how much of it's really funny? Not a lot. And mostly towards the end of the book. I'm like, I'm going to be honest. I don't think anybody's going to get through the beginning of this book, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So to answer your question, Curly Top, I have about 40,000 words. Are they good words? Nobody knows. How many prompts have you completed since last week? Now, is that how you want to come at me today, Shakendra? Let me tell you what happened. I'm going to count up how many prompts. Let me do it now. How many prompts are left? You're like, girl, go ahead, do it. I'm going to do it. Give me minutes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Somebody hold that number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 33. 33 and 11. 44. 44 prompts are left. I'm going to write 44. 44. 44 prompts left. Are you happy, Shakendra? Now look what you made me do. Now I know exactly how many are left. And that doesn't even include the ones I forgot. How do you even know what prompts you need? Well, so for me, like in my stand-up, like if you were to steal my comedy book, you would just see a whole bunch of one words. And like I can look and just see one word and be like, oh, I know. And that could be like 15 minutes of a story. Like I just need a word. I remember it. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. It's just that like those 44, they probably are not individual stories. Maybe they are, but then eventually there'll be a chapter. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah. Let's talk. Did you get 15 minutes when you open up for what's his name? I'm getting close, Judy. I'm getting close. I feel like it's so funny. I feel like I started with the hard stories, the ones that made me cry a lot, which was difficult for obvious reasons. But now I'm finding these other ones are not necessarily like emotionally difficult, but like super intrusive. And maybe stuff that I don't really talk about. So I'm just trying to figure out how much I want to say. The dirty stuff. Be like, girl, you can write into dirty stuff. When's this book coming out? So you could write more than this book can hold. And then I'd write for another book. Well, you could look at it that way, yes. Or I might decide I probably shouldn't write this and keep that out too. Let's go for 41 prompts for Wednesday. Okay, I could try that. I'm getting there. So, yeah, I'm the worst procrastinator when it comes to deadlines. I feel like you should try and forget about the deadline. Just focus on doing it when you can. All right, Victoria, that means it'll never get written. I can't. Robin's like, start with the dirty stuff. You guys are going to get the book and you'd be like, where does it, what chapter is the dirty stuff in? You don't want to go to this chapter. Do you have to get releases from others mentioned in the book? No, because I mean, obviously, like you can't like accuse people of things, but I think when you are just saying things from your perspective, that's just yours. I mean, some names I'll change, because you don't really know them anyway, but I'll just change them. Yeah. So, yeah, don't disappoint Mother Teresa. Girl, I was fighting to get her approval. I'm such a bad procrastinator. I did an entire online master's class in 3 days. Yeah. I couldn't stop listening to My Wife Joined a Cult last night. He's so good. Okay. I have to listen to it, but I'm on a cleanse, a Netflix cleanse. So I'm not allowed to read anything. I mean, I can read. I'm not allowed to watch anything. Anyway. So if you missed it, you want to go back. We had Craig Shoemaker on Saturday, and he was such a good sport, and he was so lovely. And like, I met him at this hotel, which wasn't really where he was staying, and so it's just crazy. And it's so funny because, we'll have guests on the show who we know who they are, and we've done our research, and we love them, but they don't know who I am, and I'm a nobody, right? Like in the world of like, why would you be on this lady show? But they still agree to do it. And I think that I love when people are like, I don't really know you. I don't know what you do, but I'm going to get up early, drive home from the Poconos, be here at 8:30 in the morning. Like I just love that people are willing to do that. And he was so funny. And I don't know, feels like a bit of a survivor. I feel like we do live like parallel lives in some crazy way. And I think, so Judy said, I started listening. It's very heavy. Well, that's what I think is so funny is, people think like, oh, well, they're a comedian. They'll be funny all the time. I'm like, listen, stuff happens that sometimes isn't funny. And, I feel like they say that comedians make great dramatic actors and actresses because, if they can make you laugh that hard, they probably can make you cry that hard. So anyway, so he had asked me on the show if I would come over Sunday to the club and do 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, how much time am I doing? He was like, 10 minutes. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to come out for that. I'll come out for 20 minutes. He was like, it's 10 minutes. I was like, all right, let's agree to a solid 30. And he was like, it's 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute guest set. And I was like, I don't know. It feels like, let's just do double headliner 45 each. And he was like, Dena, it's 10. So through the weekend, I was like, are you serious? You want me to come over? He's like, yeah, come over, do a tight 10. I was like, again, 35 feels like I could get a lot of stuff out. And he was like, it's a tight 3 now. And so there was just a whole bunch of texts. And I was like, let's settle on a solid 15. He was like, if you could just do like a 1 minute and then get off. So I got 10 is what I'm saying. But it's funny. So Jacqueline came to the club, and Dean was working. So they were both there. It was funny. I know that's what I said, Shakindra. But I did meet a great lady named Vanda last night. She's another comedian, and she's hilarious. You'll have to introduce her to you sometime. But we just had a lovely time hanging out backstage. So I go out and do my 10 minutes. I was like, what am I going to do for these 10 minutes? And so I picked a couple jokes. And there was a couple that like my kids haven't heard me do. And a lot of them are about Dean. So that's fun. And so as soon as my set was over, I get a text from Jacqueline. She's like, "You the best one." So she came backstage and we're chatting. She's like, "You did a lot of stuff I never heard before." I was like, "Yeah, which one?" She's like, "The one about Dean." There's this one I just wrote about Dean learning to be a gentleman. And a couple minutes later, Dean comes backstage, and he was like, he was like, "Why did you do all your jokes about me?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Does Dean ever get mad when what he hears? No. No, but it was just like, I'm telling you, I wrote a whole chapter about this conversation we had in the car, and I was telling him about it. He doesn't have any recollection. I go, "You don't remember any of this conversation?" He goes, I don't think it really happened. And so he said the same thing about this joke. I said, I did this joke about something about him being a gentleman. And he was like, "Mom, I was literally in the showroom," because he's like working. And I did a couple bits about him. And he said everybody was listening, and then they'd all look at him. He was like, "That never happened." I was just like, and then they would listen to him, me, and they'd be like, he was like, "No, that's a lie." I was like, "Dude, why would I make that up?" And the funny thing is that he's really funny in it. He says funny lines in it, which is why I put it in. Yeah. Yeah. No, not that. Not that. Not yet. Hey, Laura. Everybody has their own ribbons of memory. I love that. Ribbons of memory. I'm going to tell you, Dina has no ribbons. And all my ribbons are black. That's what I feel like for my kids. They're like, "You didn't raise us. You were barely there. Grandma was there. She basically adopted us. Nothing I did was right. They're nothing. They don't know. Nothing." Is it weird? It's like you're living in an alternate universe. Do you ever listen to your kids talk about you? And you're like, were we in the same house? Or like, all you did was scream. And you're like, "I'm lovely." You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I guess we do it to my mom. You don't really remember all the parts where they made you breakfast and everything was homemade, blah, 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 blah. Tony, I'll take it. But I got to put this, the sun is in my eyes. Hold on. coming. We have a technical issue. No, don't let them out. Come on, Doug. Outside. Come on. Are we gonna go food shopping or no? It's your idea. It's fun. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry. There's a remote that. Where'd you go? This remote makes this awning come out, and I was like, if we lose this, we'll never get this awning to work. Hold on. You might see it in one of these shots in a second, or it might be, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can't see it, and it didn't help at all. Where is this? Oh, it's coming right. It's coming right through the crack. That's what she said. It's through the crack. Voila was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even send it to myself. I'm going to show you the pictures. So in case you missed Voila yesterday, let me pull up my Instagram. So Voila Cooking with Di is a show that we do where my mom cooks. It's a lot of fun. Well, yesterday we were making this bumbleberry crisp. It is a sunsetter, but if it's coming through the crack. Diana was making this bumbleberry crisp, and I must have seen something about the breakdancer from Australia, and I just couldn't stop laughing, and I was like, let's dress my mom up. So after we put it, because it had to bake for like an hour, so while we're waiting the hour, let's dress you up like an Australian breakdancer and see if we can get some pictures. And she was like, okay. So TikTok, you won't see this, but I'll show it to Facebook. Sorry, TikTok. I wish I could share things with you, but I can't all the time. So this was what I did with Diana yesterday. And this was all live. So most of the time when I shoot things, we are like by ourselves in the street with me yelling at my mom, and then Andrea coming over and holding the pan. Yeah, no. And she didn't have any like clothes here. So those are my clothes that she has stretched out. And then I made a whole bunch of Australia signs. Oh gosh. Did she really say okay? Because I heard some resistance. No. She was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so much fun, Dena. Let's do it. I want to roll around the ground as much as possible. You didn't hear her say that? That's weird. Yeah. So Reese's mom said, do you ever miss touring? Yes and no, Reese. I was really putting some things on hold for my health and then to finish this book. So the antsy part of me wants to get back out, and the part that doesn't want to write the book wants to get back out, and the part that would like money would like to get back out, and the part so Voila is for subscribers only. Nancy, you would love it if you're thinking about it. It's a great community and we have a lot of fun. Tonight we'll do our journals. We'll talk about our journals on Ugly Monday a bit, and talk and hear about what people's goals are, make some plans. So we'll go a little bit deeper into like the journals on Monday nights. We'll talk about them as well on the main page, but I'm hoping we'll be able to get to do some fun things together as well on the supporter side. So yeah, if you get a chance, join us on the supporter side. Ugly Monday is at 9:00. So dives down for it. Would have preferred a yoga mat. Yes. Should I have my goals written in my journal already? Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting that sometimes, if I say to somebody, put your goals down for the next 6 to 8 months, sometimes people can just write it and just be like, great, I'm in. And then other people really struggle with like trying to come up with things. And so it's just kind of a good exercise if you you're having a hard time thinking about what it is you want, just fill the page. Like, just take a couple minutes to yourself. I need to know what to write. I need to join. I'm so lazy. I keep forgetting. Victoria, there's still time. You can get yourself a journal today. The best treat I ever gave myself was to become a supporter. So much fun. It is fun. But they really got a behind the scenes look at a photo shoot yesterday, which was really funny. You go swim with those sharks at the Jersey Shore. I saw they're visiting the beaches. I haven't heard much about it. I'm not, it's like out of sight, out of mind. I'm not down there. How many goals, or write out the goal? 3 goals. And my mom was saying, she said something. I know. I was talking to Chris about the journals, and I said, hey, make sure you get, is there a special journal? No, Brenda, anything you want. Maybe one day there'll be a One Funny Mother journal, but maybe next year when this one's all full. And I was saying to Chris, what would your goals be? And Chris is such a good mom, because every single goal was save money for Christine's wedding. And I was like, no, can't be that. Can't be a work goal. Like, it has to be something that's just for you. Because I just feel like in general, everything we do, our time, so much of our time, our energy is in service to others. And so the whole goal is like, what is something that you've always wanted for yourself? And maybe you've never said it out loud, and you don't have to say it out loud. It could just be what you put in your journal, and you can move towards that goal in whatever pace you would like. But it's just the idea of kind of putting it to paper, and putting it into the universe. I ordered a journal, but I'm not a supporter. That's okay, Anne. So we'll talk about it here a bit. So what I was thinking is, I think every week we're going to have kind of a different prompt and things to talk about. And so on the supporter side, we'll have a dedicated live for that, which will kind of be like the Ugly Monday thing. And here we can talk about it, and, you could share with people what you're working on. But I feel like we'll delve a little bit more into it on the supporter side. I mean, we're just kind of making it up as we go along. So who knows what it looks like, but I don't want you to feel like you can't participate if you're not a supporter. But we'd love to have you a supporter if you'd like to. First goal, going to Trainer Anthony. Good for you. I've been a supporter now for 4 years. I found you during the pandemic. Thank you. So yeah, that's such a hard thing to do. I end up with mental block because most of the things I do are for others. And I think that that's lovely. And I think that for a lot of us, we kind of float through life, or we react to things. And I think there's something really important about saying, I would like to do something for myself. And I don't think that it's selfish or, hold on, let me check the Wi-Fi, Alejandra. Yeah, I'm connected, Alejandra. I'm not sure why it's not good. Yeah, maybe start talking about the journey. I'll see you on Tuesdays. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. I think it'll be good for me. I think it's good. I just find myself talking about it in all kind of these different groups of girlfriends that I have. It's emotionally hard to put it to paper and read it. Well, that's the other thing. That's when you start to think, people text me the craziest things. I don't know what they're saying. I don't ever put myself first. Yeah. I have complete blanks for goals. All right, Meredith, do this. For those of you that might have a hard time thinking about goals, maybe just make on a page, list all the things that you love to do. Maybe the things that have brought you joy. I'm a supporter on my old Facebook page, but I can't get into it. Is there a way to transfer it to my current Facebook? I don't think so, Laura. You'd have to get into your old Facebook page to cancel it. I don't know. Maybe touch base with Stephanie at Tech at OneFunnyMother. Yeah. It's so hard when you're still in it as a mom. I agree with you, Mary, but I think that that's the time to do it. Like, without knowing it, I think that stand-up for me, I started doing stand-up when Jacqueline was about 5 months old. And so I had 2 babies and then got pregnant with Brooke. And it was really hard. I don't even know how I did it. I think back about it. All that time was so crazy and they were so young and I barely slept. But I know that it gave me sanity. It gave me just something, just a certain time that was just for myself. So I think it's really important, even if it's just, an hour a week. Your goal setting is perfect timing. I'm moving out of state for the first time in 60 plus years. I started with this prompt. It is the future. What do I want for the future happens now? And then I extrapolate my goals from that. She said extrapolate. She using big words. Yes, that is perfect, Wendy. All my kids are moving out. My first goal is to find myself again in my space. Everything I lost being a mom for 26 years. Exactly, Stephanie. I think it's so crazy. I think this is great if you're a young person. No one ever really sat me down when I was young and was like, what is it that you want? I was just like, I guess I'll get married. I guess I'll have babies. And I'm so happy I did. But nobody said like, well, and I think it's good when you're married and have babies. And make sure you don't lose yourself too much. And then I think it's good to, when you're at that point where everybody's kind of they're much more independent. And so you can be much more independent. And you're like, I'm so independent. What should I do? I think I'll just watch Netflix like that, which I do love. Do you journal in the morning or in the evening? Well, right now I'm writing a book all the time. So I'm journaling whenever I get a chance, all the time. I carry my book with me everywhere I go. So I'm writing all throughout the day. Yeah. I haven't had on makeup and hair since June 7th. I forgot how much work it is. Girl, I'll tell you. When Curly Girl Summer's over, I'll be like, Andrea said, oh, I'm lost. Married at 20, first baby at 21. I have a journal that I started writing my fights down with my husband. It's so self-soothing when you're angry. I also was a subscriber during the pandemic, but last year I had to cancel due to medical issues. Miss it. I'm going to be rejoining in the next few days. Oh, Nancy, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I want to tell you, is TikTok working on your side? Because it's not for us. Well, it does look like it's frozen. Do you want me to turn it off and try again? Let me try again. I'll come back, TikTok. Hold on. Try switching between data and Wi-Fi. It's weird. Oh, it's my thinking face. Sorry. My thinking face is so serious. I have to actually think. Okay, let's try now. Okay. Is the shed your writing shed? Not so much. I actually find that I get more done if I leave my house. So I go to Barnes & Noble a lot of different coffee shops. Oh, I know what I was telling you. So we are planning on some really fun things. We really want to spend, we have Voila all during the year. And that is on the supporter side. But during the holiday season, especially during the pandemic, we brought Voila to the main page. And we did that close to Christmas because it was during the pandemic when it just didn't feel like the holidays. And it's a tradition that we've kept now. So usually by the 3rd or 4th week of October, we're back and Voila is weekly. And I always say, I thank the supporters so much for being able to allow me to do this every day and have this be my job. And being able to work on the book full time. It really is the only reason that I can do this. It's, if I'm honest, probably the only reason I survived my divorce and starting over. And, as a comedian, there's no such thing as a regular paycheck. It just doesn't exist, or healthcare, or anything else. And so, I'm just so thankful. And so we'll bring Voila back to the main page. But in December, we have lots of plans for celebrating our supporters and the supporter community. And so hopefully we'll have some wonderful things planned. And so anyway, so just super, super thankful for all of it, especially as I just continue writing this book. Like it's a lot, but I think, somebody said, why are you writing the book? I was like, I don't know. Because God told me to. And now I said I was going to do it. It's like what we're doing with all of these, setting our goals. And like, as soon as you set your goals and you put them into the universe, they become more real. And then you have accountability for them, and then you have to do them, and it's awful. And I guess when it's done, maybe I'll feel better. But I do think that the separation, divorce journey, and how it affects your family, and all the things that go along with that. I just remember somebody saying, like, listen, if anybody can make that funny, it's you. And so it's amazing to be able to have the time to not have it come out as an angry book, and to really have the time to heal and find something remotely funny, or something good, or something I've learned, or some message. And so I think that that's the part that, I'm going to write what happened, or what I remember happened. And then being able to have some perspective from it. Everybody's trying to start over. Oh, look, somebody decided to write, but you got a really nice house and half his retirement, and now he's living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Wow. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you brought this perspective. Because, in a divorce, everybody has choices, and everybody gets to decide how they start over. And the reality is it's never good for anybody. Look at my face. If you think anybody walks away from a divorce unscathed, well, you should write that book. If you feel so confident, you must be single. Yeah. Isn't that nice? Thanks, Christine. I appreciate it. But I mean, you got the nice lawn and furniture and patio. Yeah, no, this is what I was hoping for. This is the only reason I got married. You are just killing it today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And here comes Alejandra. Alejandra's like, excuse me, Dena. Nice guy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. Alejandra took care of it. Yeah. So, yeah. But, the reality is no matter what I write, no matter what I intend, yeah. Aren't you paying for the house now? Yes, I am, Barb. But that, I guess sometimes if you like real dumb on the internet, and you're like, oh, but you got this and that. Oh, and you got the bill for it too. Oh, you got the bills now. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what's just so funny. I think that's a big part of it is, I think, trying to visualize a life for yourself, and specifically for your kids, that doesn't seem too disruptive. And what do you think is the best place for your kids, and how much can you withstand now on one income, and making things feel safe and the same for your kids? Like all of that, like all the things you think of, and none of the things that you think of are like what's best for you. You're like, what's best for me? I could live in Italy right now. I could be doing a lot of stuff. But you know, cause Crystal, it's the internet. You can say anything you want on the internet. You know, if you're the kind of person who likes to hide. So, so anyway, so yeah, so it's a lot. It's been, does he get to see the doggies? Yes, Allie, he does. So yeah, we got to share them. Come here, come up, come be on the show. This is your special day. So I'll keep my words to myself now. Anyway, so it's Monday, everybody. We're starting over another week, and we're still trying to figure out if Brooke. I don't know if I told you. Oh yeah, it's been. I guess it was Friday. So turns out Brooke has mono. Yeah, that happened. Then I had to take Dean to make sure Dean didn't have mono. So we spent a lot of time at urgent care. And now her surgery for her tonsils on Friday is up in the air because they don't know if they can do a surgery on somebody with mono. Oh, yeah. Just so fun. Yeah, I had mono when I was sick. My son just got over mono. Yeah. She's probably had it for 2 to 3 weeks already. So yeah, she's just, super tired. So they, we all thought it was tonsillitis again. And so they've been treating her with antibiotics. They've been treating her with steroids. And she just kept saying like, I don't feel better. I don't feel better. And we're like, well, listen, you're going to get your tonsils out. So, it should be better. So yeah, there was that as well over the weekend. The kissing disease. Yes. So yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. One to two, I had a senior year. Yeah. So she's getting ready, to start back at school. We had canceled out the majority of the August anyway for the surgery. So she has the time. I think she's just bored out of her mind, but she's also tired. And so, yeah. I just paused and found it back. Wow. Yeah, Bob. So it's Jen Fred. Are you here? I'm going to invite you if you're around. You might be in a truck somewhere. Jen Fred is my lovely friend from Fox 29. But she probably on location. I know. No fun. My daughter has the vid. It is. Good morning, Richard from New York City. So, I know she's been eating lots of ice cream. Yeah, I took Dean for a quick test. I didn't know they had a quick test for mono, but he was really tired, but he also just got over COVID. So we weren't sure if he was just COVID tired or if he also had mono. So I was like, I can't do this. So, so now we went over to the urgent care, but he doesn't have it. So crossing fingers. Yeah, I had no idea. So get her some elderberry gummies and vitamin C. That will help. All right. And 6 month. I got mono in my early 20s with a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old with a body cast with a broken leg. Oh my gosh. So crazy. Daughter had mono and weakened her immune system so bad. Yeah. She doesn't start school till after Labor Day, Alejandra. So she has another month. So she'll probably have had it 7 weeks by the time school starts. So I'm hoping that is a little better. Yeah. So, yeah, Dean had COVID. It's been a lot. Yeah. So fun here. Yeah, well, it was so funny, Janet, we walked into urgent care. We walked in, and I was like, this is weird to be walking into this urgent care, and it's not for me. I was like, that's different. So I lost so much weight on mono. Yeah. If he doesn't feel better, I know. Well, that's what she said. Yeah, move, said Robin. Move. She said it could just be coming up negative for now, so just keep an eye on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kooky here. Do they recognize you? I think they were like, you look somewhat familiar. Hey, Dena. I was like, hey, guy. Well, it's funny, Crystal. They really can't get a break because Dean was like, what if I have mono too? And I was like, listen, sometimes in life, did you ever have to start a conversation with your kid and you go, sometimes in life, God will blah, 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 challenge you. Listen, anytime you have to say to your kids, sometimes in life, nothing good comes after that sentence. Sometimes in life, we have more physical ailments than we would like, but then we get better and things, you have to say that. Mm-hmm. Oh, good morning from the OR. I'm the RN, not the patient. Good for you, Christina. Stay on that side of it. It's the safer side. Mm-hmm. So, I know they are helping me hit my deductible. Well, they're not on I'm on my own insurance plan. They're on their dad's. It's not even my deductible. So, yeah. Doesn't help at all. Good morning, Rosie. Yeah. But, I feel like when you are sick, it does give you, like, when you feel better after that, you appreciate it so much. Like, I'm telling you, you don't know how much I look at my left leg now. I'm like, you are gorgeous. Like, just, I'll look at this part of my leg. I'm like, this is gorgeous. I've never seen anything so powerful. I've never appreciated my ankles before than in my whole life. I really took them for granted, especially the left one. Now, I'm like, gorgeous. Sometimes we all just need a little perspective. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sue. So anyway. So that's it for us this morning. Feeling bummed. I didn't get the job I entered for after 9+ years of being a stay-at-home mom. Happy I had the practice, but still sad. Laura, I get you. And here's the thing, Laura. That job wasn't for you. There's a better one out there. And it was a good practice. When Dean was doing all his interviews for college, one of the first ones we went to, this will be my last story. This one's just for you. It's for you, Laura. We had practiced like the interview for colleges, and he really wanted to get into NYU, but we made the mistake of that being our first, the first one we went to. We should have done a whole bunch of other ones to practice, but we didn't. We started with NYU. Mistake. So I drop him off where I needed to go. I go to get something to eat. My friend Pat. Dean walks in and we're like, okay, how did it go? And he doesn't look happy. He goes, I don't think it went well. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we did the interview. I go, well, how were your monologues? He was like, oh, those were great. I said, okay, well, how were your songs? He goes, oh, those were really good. I was like, well, that's the whole point. Like, how bad could it be if, like, your monologues are good and your songs are good? He was like, oh, no, that part was good. It was just the interview. I go, but even when we practiced the interview, he goes, oh, no, all this stuff I said, like the questions and the answers, I did really well. I go, well, Dean, what part could you have messed up then? He goes, well, when the interview was done, he said to me, do you have any questions for me? Okay. I was like, okay. He goes, well, you never said to me that he was going to ask me a question, like that I could ask him a question. I was like, okay. He goes, well, when he asked me, I was like surprised. I didn't know what to do. I said, okay. He goes, so I just looked at him and I go, okay, what's your favorite color? And I was like, what? Because I said, what's your favorite color? I said, you asked the interview what his favorite color was. He was like, yeah, I did. I go, and what did he? He goes, well, he looked at his shirt. And he was like, I don't know, blue. And he was like, all right, what college did you go to? I go, you didn't ask about the program or the courses. And he was like, is that what I was supposed to do? I was like, he's like, you didn't tell me any of that. So moral of the story, Laura. Practice makes perfect. It doesn't matter what job you get. This is all practice leading up to the perfect job for you. Just don't ask them what their favorite color is. Side note, don't ask their favorite color. Or if it went really, really bad, then lean in, make it weirder. And be like, let me just out of curiosity, how much does this pay and what's your favorite color? Just for fun. Laura's like, writing this down. This can be real helpful. That's it, Laura. Wasn't for you. So that's it, everybody. Got to go do some stuff. Got to go write a book. Got to get down to 41 prompts by Wednesday. Yeah, okay. To put do mock interviews with the kids on the list. Oh yeah. Dean is my spirit animal. Dean. Girl, I didn't even get an interview for the job I wanted. Yeah. So funny. Do you like cats? Yeah, listen, there's just so many options, Laura. Just if it's weird, make it weirder. That's just the way to go. Last night I went to Jacqueline had like an open mic. So I did my set, then I went to a restaurant, ate a little bit, and then I went to Jacqueline's set, and it was just so awesome. She was at this little coffee house / record bar. It's a bar, had all these records called Sassafras. And she was on the open mic there. And she's just so cute. It tickles me. It's just great to watch your kids do fun things. I love it. I'm terrible at interviewing. I'm going to have to hire someone to help my kids when they get there. Oh, you're better at it than you think. It's easy on that side, Christina. It's easier to be the interviewer than the interviewee. And that's what you do is practice. I'm a big fan. So, which by the way, I have not forgotten about the speaking classes. I'm going to be working on it. So my memoir class is done in the middle of October. So I'm going to start to try to put together, the speaking class to maybe start when my class ends. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up. So that's it for me, everybody. So go get your journals. If you're on the supporter side, maybe tonight at 9:00 for Ugly Monday, we'll delve a little bit deeper into that. And we'll be talking about them tomorrow morning. And we'll also get our new homework for the week and things we're going to be journaling about this week. Oh, girl, look at us. I also took some Motrin before this, so most of my pain is gone, but it'll be back. I'm going to the gym later and I'll be sad. So do something nice for yourself or others today. Those were boxers back there, Richard. I think you were asking me. Two girls. So have a great day and a blessed day, everybody. Like Judy from Saskatoon, Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. Have a good one. I'll see you tonight and then tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One